I already signed it. No, yeah. So if you're cool, if we just kind of show their stats, Brock, since my laptop's just not connected. I got that. You got yours? Perfect. So, ready, baby? Yeah. Well, I even got like an adapter with an Ethernet thing, and it still wasn't working. And Bill was like, "I have no idea." Yeah. Yeah. So, kind of sucks, but at least they have the iPad. At least. Do you think it's just here? No, I didn't get here yet. I know I have to get some. I was thinking of maybe going down to the athletic store at some point.
They'll get you a couple shirts.
They'll get me a couple shirts? Yeah, that's perfect.
I got a closet full of them.
Tabor State, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, of course it is.
I don't know where that's supposed to be, but it feels like it's not supposed to be here.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
They're trying to get that to work. They try to do it for like the post-game thing, but it doesn't work at all. With Coach Gabriel.
Welcome into the Bellevue Sports Network. We got Game 5 of the Fairfield Inn & Suites Classic. We got a battle between the Dickinson State Bluehawks and the Tabor College Blue Jays.
University
I'm Jake Janicek, and I'm joined here by Jimmy Allen. And Jimmy, how are you feeling tonight?
Man, it's great to be back here at the Bellevue Sports Complex at the Fieldhouse of Bellevue University. A great matchup today between two teams. They're just trying to get the season started off on the right foot.
Yeah, Dickinson State was able to get a win yesterday against Midland, 60-56. Tabor, on the other hand, they lost that game against the Bellevue Bruins, 58-45. Tabor kind of struggled shooting the ball a bit, and Dickinson State was able to get their first win of the season.
Yeah, and Dickinson State needed a huge performance from Bray Annabo last night. She scored 16 points, and Jell Garfield also added 12 points as well for the Bluehawks, and that's going to be the key today. You got to get 24 and 15 involved in transition. They need to get out and run, because if Tabor does anything well, it's they put a game in a phone booth and they make you play in half-court sets.
Oh, and definitely. And so far on this season, Dickinson State has really struggled on the turnover end. We talked to Coach Nelson before the game, and that was one thing that he stressed. Tabor has been able to get turnovers a bit. They average about 8.3 steals a game. What do you think the Bluehawks need to do to kind of limit some turnovers, since that's been a struggle for them this season?
I think they need to do the exact opposite of what they would tell you to do if you're going to be turning the ball over a ton. I think they need to play fast today, because what Tabor tries to do is they try to get you into mistake sets. They want you to go deep into the shot clock. They want you to overthink your set. They want you to get you off your first shot. That's what they're going to try to do to Dickinson State today. I think the Bluehawks are in their best when they're out and running, and they got their scorers in the right spots, and they got to score quickly. They get deep into the shot clock. They're playing right into the Blue Jays' hands.
One thing that's not going to be good for Tabor is they're out with their leading scorer, Lily Veer. Lily Veer so far on this season, scoring 12.7 points per game, shooting 41.5%. That's a pretty good clip. What's anyone that Tabor needs to go to kind of be successful?
And that was evident last night without Lily Veer being available. And this isn't a knock against the Bellevue Bruins of any sense, but it's really easy to pin down an offense when you have their best scorer not available and not readily available in the offense to run the sets that they're used to for the Frontier Conference Bluehawks. And today, when you take a look at what you got to take what you did last night and make it portable, right? You got to find out what Dickinson State did last night, did well. They got off to a quick start. They shot 7 of 18 from the field. They started off 0 for 4 from the three-point line last night to start the game. They got to get three-pointers to land earlier in this game. Get out to a big lead. Get Tabor uncomfortable. Make them have to run quickly and get out of that press defense and make them play a little bit faster up to your pace.
Yeah, and they were able to get to a big lead against Midland yesterday. They ended up leading 42-26 in that game, but kind of let Midland come back. But a star player for Dickinson State is Kaylin Garza. Against Lewis and Clark, she averaged 15.5 points per game. She was named Frontier Player of the Week, but some early fouls, Bray Annabo really had to step up. And one thing that Bray Annabo is going to have to struggle with, this Tabor team has a lot of size, and that's something that's going to be a matchup definitely to watch.
And I think that's why Dickinson State has to play so quickly, too, because that's the great equalizer. Speed it disables size, right? And if you can do that, and you can get those bigs moving and sliding their feet, or not able to slide their feet in some cases, you're going to be able to take advantage of that. How Tabor creates offense off of defense with that size on this end of the court is really probably going to be what dictates the score of this game either way.
Oh, indefinitely. So far on this year, Tabor is 2-2. They lost their first game against Briarcliff, 66-76. They won against John Brown, 63-55. They won against Benedict College, 57-54, and then had that loss against Bellevue yesterday. So far on the season, they're averaging 57.8 points per game, allowing 59, shooting 38.1% from the field, 21.9% from three, 65.2% from the free throw line, and average about 32 rebounds a game, but don't pass the ball that well, only at 8.8 assists per game. For the Bluehawks, 58.7 points per game, 38.6 from the field, 27.5 from the three-point line, 76 from the line, 39 rebounds and 12 assists. But the main thing we already talked about is going to be turnovers. Dickinson State averaging 22.3 so far this season.
And back to the turnover portion we were just talking about. When we talk about playing the game in a half-court set, that limits that, right? You're not passing the ball across the court or down the court. That's why Tabor wants to live in that world, because they know what their strengths are and they know what they're not. Specifically, if they're out and running, they're off of their game and they're going to get over their skis a little bit. You have a younger team if you're the Tabor Blue Jays. You've got to find out exactly how you need to slow down this game as the season goes along. We'll send it down to Ray Quinn and get you ready for our starting lineups. This is the Bellevue Sports Network. Jake Janicek, Jimmy Allen. We'll have the call for you. We'll send it down to Sweet Baby Ray.
As a participant, official, or spectator, to abide by these values, creating a positive environment in which our student athletes may participate, our game officials may work, and you, the spectator, may enjoy. Thank you for your cooperation and support. Please enjoy our game today. We ask it this time, please rise, remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Let's meet the starting lineups. First, the Blue Jays from Tabor College, coming in with a 2-2 record. Starting it forward, a 5'11" freshman from Heston, Kansas, number 0, Abby Proctor. At guard, a 5'3" freshman from Wichita, Kansas, number 10, Katie Evans. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Lindsborg, Kansas, number 20, Adrian Hazelwood. At another guard, a 5'4" sophomore from Liberal, Kansas, number 23, Haley Contreras. And in the middle, a 6'2" senior from Elbing, Kansas, number 35, Tayton Smith. The Blue Jays are coached by head coach Sean Reed in the 15th season, assisted by Kate Brickell and Cassidy Bean. Now let's meet the Blue Hawks from Dickinson State University, coming in with a 1-2 record. At forward, a 5'9" junior from Wolf Point, Montana, number 15, J.L. Garfield. At guard, a 5'6" sophomore from Lemon, South Dakota, number 20, Allie Cohn. At guard, a 5'7" junior from Helena, Montana, number 22, Jada Clarkson. At forward, a 5'11" senior from Belfast, South Dakota, number 23, Kaylin Garza. And at forward, a 6' senior from Conrad, Montana, number 24, Bray Inobo. The Blue Hawks are coached by head coach Eric Nelson, his 7th season, assisted by Tegan Townsend and Hannah Labrie.
Welcome back into the Bellevue Sports Network. Just about to get started here for the Dickinson State Blue Hawks versus Tabor. The Blue Hawks are in navy blue with white trim, and Tabor College coming out in white with Carolina blue trim. Gotta love that light blue color. The starting lineups.
It's going to be a little difficult to not refer to them as the Blue Jays anyway, right? With the Creighton light blue that they're wearing here in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And the starting lineups, Tabor, Abby Proctor will start. Number 10, Katie Evans. Number 20, Adrian Hazelwood. Number 23, Haley Contreras. And Tayton Smith just about to tip it off here. And the Blue Jays will win the tip.
Just a reminder for anybody tuning in, Tabor without their leading scorer, Lily Veer, not available in this game, dealing with a concussion. She is on the sidelines watching on.
Trying to look inside, getting Tayton Smith. It's going to put up, just missing the rebound to Bray Annabo.
Yeah, that's the battle inside, right? You're going to have to win on the boards in this game if you're going to be able to pull away. Probably a low-scoring defensive game. You're going to have to win the glass.
Here's Kaylin Garza inside to Annabo. Going to put it up and in. We've already seen that matchup early between Tayton Smith and Annabo.
Yeah, you're going to look at both teams trying to get inside, try to get the bigs into foul trouble if they can, because it's going to give the advantage on the size to the other side.
Here comes back the Blue Jays. Inside to Smith. Proctor's trying to put up, and she gets blocked there from Kaylin Garza.
Yeah, Garza thought she gave up a foul there. Just great job sliding her feet, using her feet to create space defensively on the floor.
Yeah, Kaylin Garza, a pretty good player for this Blue Hawks team, getting Frontier Player of the Week.
She's been an absolute staple for this team over the last 2 years, even as a freshman, seeing significant playing time.
There's Katie Evans at the top of the key. Trying to look inside. Shot clock going down. 2 left in the shot clock. You have to put up a quick shot here for 3, and it is
What a
good.
shot.
Katie Evans gets her first bucket of the game.
Yeah, great look. She moved away from the defense off the ball while all the eyes were drawn inside. She found a spot and just stayed there. Shot came to her.
Blue Hawks looking to respond here. Inside to Garza. Clark's trying to have the cut, but it's going to get stolen away.
Great job by Katie Evans there, just poking that one away and getting her team back to basketball.
Looking inside again to Smith. Proctor up top, getting a jumper. Ain't going to be off the mark, but the rebound to Smith. The 6'2" will definitely help with some offensive board, but a turnover there.
Yeah, and not only being 6'2", but also being a senior, seeing a ton of experience for this team and in this system. She knows where to be when the ball bounces off the rim, even though this is her first time playing back in this gym.
Yeah, I was looking through their website, and she's a team captain for them, so definitely a leadership role.
Catch up with Bellevue's volleyball coach, Trish Sedlick, earlier in their season. She just talked about the difference in the air in this gym compared to some other places in the Frontier Conference. Definitely an adjustment in volleyball. It'll be interesting to see how teams are coming from outside of Omaha adjust to this new facility at Bellevue.
Definitely. Blue Hawks here, J.L. Garfield with the drive, going to get down to Clarkson. Clarkson's going to put it up, and that's going to be a jump ball.
Great job inside by Haley Contreras, just getting in position and holding it there without fouling. Possession's going to stay with Dickinson State.
Here comes in Clarkson over to Enemo at the top of the key. Trying to look down to Garza. Nothing there. Good defense early for the Blue Jays.
I was just about to say, Enebo played in the post in the first set. She had been on the perimeter before that shot. They were trying to work her off the ball there. Great set by Dickinson State.
Yeah, Enemo did that a lot. Shots close to the end of the shot clock and was able to make it.
She's got all 4 points for Dickinson State. I don't expect her to score all of them in this game. That's going to be a repeated statement today, though.
Blue Jays looking to respond here. Getting the drive on JL. Good cut right there from Haley Contreras, not able to complete it. Rebound to Garza.
Yeah, that's a great look there. You're not going to be mad at that when you look back on the film. You just miss some shots sometimes. That's about as good as a look as you're going to get.
Getting inside to Enebo, looking for in the post. That's going to be a foul on Smith, trying to reach a bit for that ball.
That's the first on Tatum Smith, and that's going to be something to keep an eye on. If she isn't available, look for Contreras to take advantage of that in this game.
Landry O'Brien going to check into the game here for Adrian Hazelwood.
Contrary, I expect them to go right at Kaylin Garza when the Blue Jays get this possession back for that same reason.
And another foul there from Smith. That's her second of the game now.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of Enebo's ability to slide her feet underneath the basket. She's a little more fleet of foot than Smith, and Smith's going to head to the bench, picking up her second foul early here, just 3 minutes into this game.
And Brooke Berlin's going to check in, another 6'2" player for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they got a ton of size. They just got to be able to keep up the athleticism of Dickinson State.
And not a good pass inbound there from JL. When we talked in the pregame, struggled with turnovers a bit, and already a couple here in the early going for Dickinson State.
Jada Clarkson's going to want that back. That was just an unnecessary foul. She was out of position there. Good job. I mean, great effort trying to fight for the basketball. You got to pick your spots.
Here's O'Brien with the ball, just checking in.
Andrew O'Brien got away with a little bit of a travel there, sliding her feet.
O'Brien's looking to drive it, pass it outside. Good defense here. There's shot clock's going down, 5 left, and it's going to be a turnover for the Blue Jays. Here come down the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, great job by J.L. Garfield just getting in the lane there and intercepting that pass.
JL's going to try passing to Enebo again. Jada Clarkson. Good step drive, not able to complete it, but able to get the fight for the offensive board. Jada found herself wide open, not able to complete it. Garza puts it up. No good. Another offensive board.
It's 3 offensive boards for Dickinson State. You got to get a basket here. This has been a really sloppy possession. You got to make it count.
Bray almost had a turnover there. Wasn't expecting that ball, but Jada Clarkson here looking out to JL, and that's going to be a turnover. Another one for the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, just an errant pass to the shot clock was expiring too. So even if you don't turn the ball over on the out-of-bounds play, you're giving it back to the Blue Jays.
Couple subs here for the Blue Jays. Caitlin Long is going to check into the game.
Eric Nelson had some comments for his players coming off the court. That was obviously a very sloppy possession, all due to lack of communication.
Yeah, when you have that many offensive boards, you definitely want a bucket there, and not able to get it.
5 offensive possessions, 0 points. That's not a great rate at any point.
Score's only 4-3 here as we're halfway through the first quarter. Trying to get a bucket there, not able to get it. Rebound to the Blue Hawks.
Dickinson State trying to get out and run, but great job by Tabor just getting back on defense and getting into their defensive sets early.
That's going to be a 3, and just off the mark there for Dylan Sedilli.
Sedilli totally got ran into on that play. That probably should have been 3 free throws, but just a missed call.
Look inside, good play, defensive play right there from Kalen Garza, putting a hand in there, putting it out of bounds.
And that's the difference about being a senior, right? I mean, usually if you're an underclassman, you give up an easy foul there, you fight for possession. She just sat back and let the ball come to her.
Blue Jays looking to get a point here. Tried to get a pass in, almost a turnover, but get nonetheless. Here's Hazelwood on the outside, looking to drive, finds an opening, and going to draw the foul on J.L. Garfield.
Yeah, even though that doesn't go in, you see the reaction from the Tabor staff. That's exactly what they want. They want to feed inside. They want to try to get the Dickinson State bigs into foul trouble here too. So when you do end up getting Tayton Smith back out there, it's not a tit-for-tat type situation.
And that free throw is going to break a 3.5-minute scoring drought for the Blue Jays and making it a 4-4 game. The second one for Hazelwood is going to be up, and just off the mark, rebound to Garza.
If you're Dickinson State here, you got to get a basket. You've got almost 3.5 minutes without a field goal. You're 0 for 4 in your last 4 shots. You got to see the ball go through the net here.
Here's J.L. Garfield, and that's going to be another turnover for the Blue Hawks. Blue Jays looking to run. Here's Caitlin Long looking inside, and that's going to be a jumper out there from just off the rim, rebound to Garza. Blue Hawks looking to run as well. They're a team that do want to try and play fast, but Tabor's been able to slow them down here in the early going.
Yeah, great job by the Blue Jays, just getting back early in sets.
Here's Garza. Good move right there, not able to get it. Rebound to the Blue Jays.
Great job. Great job by Brooke Berlin just getting in front of the set there, not letting Garza use her feet to get around her.
Here's O'Brien, Cone guarding her, and that's going to be a turnover for the Blue Jays.
Give all the credit there to Dylan Stedley on that one.
Cone with a good pump fake, but not able to complete it. Tries to get it out there to Stilly, and she's going to be stepping on the line. Another turnover for the Blue Hawks.
Been really impressed with Allie Cohen early in this one. Obviously coming off the bench for Dickinson State here. She's very athletic and has gotten past her defender twice and caused a turnover on the other end.
This could be our first media time out at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, for anybody that's joining us for the first time, that's new to the Frontier Conference or maybe used to the way that things were done previously in the North Star Athletic Conference, there is an extra media timeout, so each team will get an extra timeout essentially in both halves, not in both the men's and the women's games. Obviously, women playing quarter, men's playing half, so those media timeouts will affect both games equally.
And looking at some of the stats here, so far both teams not shooting really well. Dickinson State shooting at a 22% clip and Tabor at 14%.
Yeah, Tabor's just 1 of 7 from the field right now, and I think both teams are just getting their feet underneath them a little bit. You're kind of seeing the rust coming off a little bit. Dickinson State only played 3 games up to this point in the season. Tabor is 4 games in, but obviously the biggest thing for Tabor is playing this game without Lily Veer and figuring out what you have in sets you probably haven't practiced in up until this point.
Now, I was also thinking it was kind of interesting. So Tabor, they played against the Bruins yesterday at 5 p.m. This is a pretty quick turnaround
Absolutely.
for a 12:30 tip-off.
Yeah, that's kind of a common thing in the NAIA level in this point in the season. That's something that won't be effective later, but it kind of helps you get out the deep end and swim a little bit when you're tired. How does if you're Eric Nelson or you're Sean Reed, how does my team react when they're tired on limited amount of time on turnover and sleep? You're kind of figuring out both teams here.
Come back out, the Blue Jays with the ball. Trying to get inside. That's one thing they like to do a lot, try to just pass it around and try to get into the post.
Yeah, they're trying to work this inside of Brooke Berlin, and they're going to try to here, but she's just getting triple teamed. Dickinson State just flooding the paint and being perfectly fine, leaving the perimeter open.
Shot clock running low again. Here's Anna Lambert trying to go inside. Dribbles off her foot, and that's going to be a turnover for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they want to get this ball into Dylan Stedley here just to try to get out and run and use their athleticism to take advantage.
There's Caitlin Garza at the top.
Look for Stedley and Cohen to be the ladies that handle the ball here.
Almost had a wide open 3 there, but good recovery from the Blue Jays. Trying to get inside to Garza. Shot clock running low at 10, and Garza's going to get that bucket to go.
Yeah. Tabor just left 3 defenders in the paint, and Garza just used the elbow to take advantage of it. 6-4 Dickinson State.
Blue Jays looking to respond here, being down 6-4. Here's Long. inside to Berlin. They're going to get it there. Finally, a play in the post for the Blue Jays.
That's what they were trying to set up on that last possession. Dickinson State just did a really good job not letting her set her feet inside the circle. After a quiet 3 minutes, now back-to-back baskets from both these teams.
Here's Garza at the top. Over to Kiri Aldridge in the corner. Able to leave Garza wide open. Not able to get it there. But a rebound right there from McKenna Hauge. And able to put it up and in. 8-6 lead for the Blue Hawks.
Garza turned around and expected somebody to be there. Was so shocked that there wasn't anybody there. She didn't know to shoot the basketball. Just got the shot up late.
I know, kind of distracted. Aldridge on the three-point line left her open. Looking to respond here are the Blue Jays. Here's Caitlin Long. She's going to try to drive it in and not able to get it.
Tabor's trying to set these screens using Berlin, but nobody else is moving around. They got to get their switches moving if that's going to work.
Yeah, movement with the basketball is going to be key, especially with how they want to play offense.
Yeah, they're just kind of standing still. It's a little surprising.
Here's Kiri Aldridge trying to drive it in there and able to get it up and in.
Great take. She saw the lane open up and executed all the way through.
10-6 lead now for the Blue Hawks.
Caitlin Long has been bringing the basketball up the court for the Blue Jays, but as soon as she gets past the timeline, she's getting off of it. They're not getting it back to her. It's a little surprising to see.
Good driver there, but not able to get on the fast break. Here's Kiri Aldridge, and good defensive play right there from Landry O'Brien. But it's going to be a foul nonetheless.
Great look and pass there by Dylan Stedley. Just not able to execute it on the other side. You saw this offense try to get to the post quickly. I've been really impressed with Tabor's ability to get back on defense as quickly as they have.
Yeah, it's definitely been good for them and tried to slow down this Blue Hawks a bit. But both these teams in their last game, they didn't get a lot of points off those fast break possessions. So definitely something like that, you want to take advantage of it.
It looked like Kiri Aldridge was just trying to get to the basket so quickly, or to draw a foul. She didn't bother to score the basketball. Like, got to kind of make both happen if possible.
Able to make that first free throw. And the second one is good, and just like that, Dickinson State's up 12-6.
Yeah, they're currently on a 6-2 run right now. They're kind of starting to feel it. They're working the ball off the ball. They're making their offense come to them.
Yeah, Tabor won for their last 7. Need a bucket here. Looking inside. Here's Abby Proctor. And able to try to use the pump fake and draw the foul on J.L. Garfield. And that's going to be J.L. Garfield's second personal foul.
Kind of surprised we got 8 minutes into this first quarter before we saw Abby Proctor. She's obviously a freshman, but she had a big impact last night. Kind of surprised to see her wait to get in this late in the first quarter. Got a little bit of size at 5'11", but she's so fleet of foot that's going to be something they're going to have to take advantage of.
She's able to make that first one. Yeah, Proctor, a freshman, so far averaging 4 points per game on the season. And shooting only about 50% from the line. But
that
able to
number
knock
is
both those
going
down.
up, yeah. 50% before this game.
Here comes down Jada Clarkson, just checked into the game for the Blue Hawks. Same with Bray Enabo.
Yeah, she's been off the court for a while. They must be thinking they're going to need her later in this game. Great take.
Good take there from Kiri. Able to put the lead back to 6, 14-8.
Aldridge has the Blue Hawks' last 4 points.
Trying to look inside, nothing there. Good at defensive intensity for the Blue Hawks, not allowing a lot for Tabor down low.
Yeah, they're playing really well on both sides of the ball. They're 3 for 3 on the last 3 offensive possessions. They've only given up 1 basket in the last 4 possessions on the other side.
Had an open bucket there, but shot there, but wasn't able to get it. Looking to expand that lead is the Blue Hawks. Here's Kiri. She's had a couple drives this game. Past the corner in there to Friday.
Yeah, it kind of looks like they want to run the offense through Aldridge right now. They want the ball in her hand. She's creating really well.
Yeah, and a good pass right there. But good recovery from Blue Jays.
Yeah, Sadie Friday needs to put that shot up. That was a great look.
Kiri with 3, late in the shot clock, and good. She is feeling it right now.
Make it their last 7 points. She has been in a field goal machine here in the last 3 minutes.
9-point lead now for the Blue Hawks. Jays definitely need a bucket. They're going to get a jumper there, off the mark, another rebound for the Blue Hawks, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Blue Hawks with a run, up 17-8 going into the second.
You can tell Sean Reed wanted to take a timeout there, but being so late into the game clock in the first quarter, you don't take that timeout just to not exhaust a resource. But clearly Tabor off their game at the end of that first half. Right now, Dickinson State made their last made a basket in their last 5 possessions. They stopped the bucket from going in their last 6 of their last 7. So you got to feel really good about what you're doing if you're the Blue Hawks right now.
Yeah, in our last stoppage, they were only at about 20% shooting, already up to 47% now on the game.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the residual effects happening on the other side. At our last break, Tabor was just 1 of 7. Now they're 2 of 12. The Blue Jays got to find a way to get some offense going.
No, definitely. Dixon had some turnovers early in the game. That's something that Coach Nelson has talked about a lot, is those turnovers. And they kind of struggled early, but once they started to settle in a bit, they started scoring some buckets. And Kiri Aldridge, a player that hasn't scored a whole lot this year, has definitely been a good plus for the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, we talk about the turnovers and the clip that Dickinson State is scoring at right now. Not only are they scoring the basketball in 4 of their last 4 possessions, they haven't turned the ball over in their last 8, and that might be the dictation of who wins this basketball game.
Yeah, Kiri Aldridge so far in the year, averaging about 7.7 points per game, already pretty much at her average. It's her 3rd season in the Blue Hawks program, and she's mainly been a 6th player off the bench. She's averaged 10 more minutes than last season, and already can tell she's trying to take that leadership role a bit for this Blue Hawks team.
Yeah, Sean Reed just taking as much time as he can this time out here because communication has been a sore spot for Tabor throughout this first quarter.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays, they've been a successful program after Sean Reed. He's entering his 15th season at the helm, and they've been very successful. He's got a record of 292 and 142, and they're coming off a 19-10 year a season ago.
Yeah, and we have an all-conference level player like Lily Veer missing again, just dealing with a concussion, so she'll be back sooner rather than later. Take some learning curves.
It'll be interesting to see what Sean Reed told his team in that timeout. Blue Jays need some buckets here. They're going to try to get started, not able to get it there. Rebound to Kiri.
Yeah, that was a miss, but great read there by Haley Contreras. I mean, the sophomore just observed the floor and watched it open up and took an open look. It's not great to take as many mid-ranges as you can in the game, but if they're going to be that open, you might as well.
Here's Clarkson, kind of elbow down low, wasn't able to find her. Aldridge, not a good pass there. That's going to be a turnover and just not a smart foul there from Bray Enebo.
Yeah, and they wanted to get the ball to her there on that possession. You could see it was called for her. Everybody kind of had their eyes on her. She's got to find a way to get some space. And listen, they know what she did last night. They're going to be on her like white on rice, but you got to be able to find a way to get some space and get a better shot and not fight for it.
Yeah, Bray Enebo had 16 points and 8 boards against the Midland Warriors, leading them to a 60-56 win.
Yeah, just 4 points, 1 rebound here early in this just halfway through this first half.
And a quick 3 right there, not able to get it down there for Haley Contreras.
Yeah, that's back-to-back open looks for Haley Contreras. And she's getting a little frustrated not being able to find the bottom of the nylon, which is totally understandable. She's had some really good looks.
There's Clarkson to Enebo, finding Friday on the outside, trying to do a screen for her. Going to get Bray in the post again. Can Kira get another 3 off the mark, but almost not able to get the offensive board for Friday.
Listen, that was nothing but a heat check. Not the best looking open shot, but she was feeling it. She's made her last 3. Let it fly one more time.
Here's Berlin down low. Good pass right there. Great play call from Tabor, and they're able to break that streak. 17-10,
yeah,
Blue Hawks.
I mean, basketball's a game of runs, and if you can make one go through the net, usually often you get a run. Try to get back into this game. You're only down 7, not too far out reach right now.
Right outside the key. You can tell she's doing a lot of screens, trying to get her to the rim a bit. Jada's going to find herself wide open for that 3 and bank and put it in. 20-10.
The Blue Jays are just so worried about what's going on down the paint. They're not really respecting the perimeter. Dickinson State's making a pay for it right now. They're only going to count that as a 2. They're going to say the foot was on the line. It looked like a 3 from all the way up here.
Now that's Jada Clarkson's first bucket of the game. Trying to look down low. And Berlin didn't corral that ball. It's going to be a turnover for the Blue Jays.
Dickinson State's going to want to slow this up. They want to keep the Blue Jays off their rhythm as much as possible.
Friday find herself in the wide open lane. Good drive, but not able to put it in.
Just must be extra grease on the rim today because they just can't get a bucket to fall. It's touching every piece of the cylinder but the net. I love this by Tabor, slowing things up here, making sure you're in the right set. Don't play too fast. Get the play call you want, get the ball in your scorer's hands. Yeah,
they definitely seem like they're doing that in the early going, and that's going to be a 3-pointer. Not able to get it down, but they're starting to get more open shots, just haven't been able to knock them down.
Kaylee Huffman, the junior, they're just using her big-bodied center to get an open look. Great shots, not able to get it to fall.
Here's Jerry Clarkson, trying to get Enebo down low. And so far, Blue Jays doing good at trying to double team that post.
Yeah, they dropped out into a zone here as opposed to man they've been playing.
But Bray able to get that in. Good spin move there from Bray Enebo.
I was just about to say the only problem with that is they're going to give up a little bit of space inside, but they think they have the size to counter that. Not in that possession.
Good move right there from Enebo, up to 6 points on the game. Blue Jays looking to respond, down by double digits for the first time in this game.
Contreras was trying to get a screen there, and here it comes on the backside. That's what she was looking for in that first set. Not able to get it to fall, though.
Yeah, they've been able to get open a couple times on there, but Blue Hawks able to read it there and get the stop.
They're not having a follow. The Dickinson State Blue Hawks just aren't having anybody take the ball handler for some reason.
Here's the three-pointer for Hauge, not able to get it, but a good look from Jada Clarkson, but she did have that lane open.
I would go back to that same set here.
Trying to look fast here, but just out of sorts with the ball, but it's going to be out of bounds off the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, Sadie Friday kicked that one and ended up out of bounds, so stay with the Blue Jays.
Going to have massive subs here for both teams. Both of them switching out 4.
Look for this play to end up at the top of the key with a lead behind and maybe an open shot, because for some odd reason Dickinson State isn't taking the trailer. They haven't adjusted that yet. That's where I'd go to offensively here.
Trying to replay, just put in to Berlin.
Yeah, they're going to reset this offensive key here.
Yeah. 15 left on the shot clock.
There's the screen set.
Yeah, they've been running that play a lot, but yeah, Blue Hawks doing a much better job there, trying to get it down here to Berlin. Inside's going to be another turnover for the Blue Jays. Hawks looking to run. Cross support pass, and she's going to be stepping on the line. She drilled it, but unfortunately, you kind of see that a lot lately in the college game. A lot of players in the corner stepping on that back.
Yeah, they like their
line.
sweet spot, right? I mean, Ava Robinson is a sharpshooter for this team, and she got left wide open over there. Just lost track of where she was on the court.
Scoring drought now for Tabor of almost 3 minutes, so need a bucket here, but looks like they're being slowed down a lot, finding a wide open drive. Up, no good, but the foul is going to be called.
Dickinson State is really, like, despite the score, Dickinson State is really struggling on-ball defense. Listen, that's something that Eric Nelson told us before the game that they had to be better about. Kind of feels like Tabor's found a little bit of an issue in the armor here of the Dickinson State defense.
Yeah, and they definitely need it right now when they haven't been able to score the basketball, trying to find those open lanes close to the rim.
Well, it's just another opportunity to get to the free throw line, too.
First one's going to be up and good.
And if you're struggling from the field, you might as well get to the charity stripe, try to make something fall through.
Caitlin Long with her second free throw, and going to cut that lead now to single digits at 9 midway through the second quarter.
And Dickinson State now with 2 personal fouls, two team fouls, 0 for Tabor. It'll be interesting to see if the Blue Jays can exploit that, maybe try to get into the bonus here.
Here's Jada Clarkson looking outside for Cone. Ava Robinson, she likes to shoot the 3, not able to find anything there. Good double team down on Garza, and it looks like it's going to be a jump ball.
Ball going to stay with the Blue Hawks. They have the arrow. That'll give the arrow back to Tabor, though, after this for the remainder of this second quarter.
You can definitely tell that Tabor's been trying to double team that post a lot.
They're just trying to not let anything inside of the circle. They're just doing whatever they can. I mean, 3 bodies inside the circle there, just trying to keep everything out of play for Caitlin Garza and keep the senior from making an impact. But guess who?
I know, Garza able to make, that's just pure athleticism right there. Sometimes there's just better offense. And a quick travel right there on Abby Proctor. And that's going to be our immediate timeout here in the second quarter. 23-12 Blue Hawks.
Yeah, and listen, this game's an 11-point game right now, but I think Tabor feels really good about where they are and the way they've been able to turn things around. They're kind of finding some rhythm offensively without Lily Veer, and they feel really good about the way they're pushing the basketball around the horn. The problem is they're just not seeing it go through the net. They've gotten some really, really good looks here, and if you're Sean Reed, that's got to be the message in the huddle. Keep shooting. If you're going to get the good look and the open look, go ahead and take it. We'll take missed good shots over made bad shots 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, definitely. No field goals in the last 3:40 of this game. Tabor right now shooting 18%. But, yeah, you're right. They've been getting those open looks, just not able to knock them down. But, yeah, Coach Reed will definitely be happy with that.
And I know that sounds like a stupid statement to make, but it creates bad habits. If you start taking really bad mid-range jumpers that are contested and they go in, you start thinking you could do that all the time. You consistently take those shots where you're open and get the look. It may not pay off in this game, but it'll pay off later in the season.
Yeah, definitely. And Tabor, we talked earlier, program that has done well, and Sean Reed winning a lot of games here. He'll definitely fix his team, and it's still early in the year, so still a lot of things you got to figure out.
Don't write them off. They're 2-2.
I know.
This team has faced some adversity
I know, my
early in
bad.
this season. They're playing with a ton of fire, too. I mean, you look up the scoreboard, you're down 11. There's a lot to write home about and feel sorry. It doesn't look like the Blue Jays are falling into that rhythm right now. A little bit of confusion here about where the ball is supposed to be inbounds at, but the referees get it figured out.
Our Blue Hawks has been prone to give up leads. They gave up a 16-point lead to Midland, but was able to win in the latter half of the fourth quarter. Here's Ava Robinson looking inside to Garza. Almost another turnover, and just kind of threw that one up.
Great job by Nevi Wilkie there, just getting her hands up and using the spacing of the floor to cause that turnover.
Yeah, the Blue Jays starting to find something on defense, just need to be able to respond on offense. Here's Katie Evans on the outside. Kind of get some space for a three. Not able to knock it down. The rebound's going to go to Garza.
Kaylin Garza has just been such a problem defensively. The Blue Jays have not been able to figure her out. She's essentially taken 2 players out of the offensive equation just by standing there.
Cone's pass out to Clarkson, looking to go down low, almost travel there. Finding Ava Robinson for 3 and not able to get it, but and it's going to go the other end.
Okay, they're going to say Garza's pushed off. Yep. Oh, no.
They called Allie Cone for that. I'm not too sure. I didn't see much.
Yeah, they called
there.
Allie Cone for it, but Kaylin Garza was patting her chest while she was walking away. So maybe they called out the wrong number. I don't know. Regardless, the foul goes against Cone.
And that's going to be our first personal of the game. Still kind of running that similar set of a lot of screens for the Blue Jays. Trying to drive it in here. Here's O'Brien.
Yeah, she wanted that shot really bad.
O'Brien's looking around. Gets it down to Wilkie, going to put up, not able to get it in. Rebound to Garza.
And again, Garza just playing about 3 feet away from the rim and just moving around the circle. It's causing all sorts of problems for this Blue Jays offense.
Here's Cone trying to drive it in, finding Garza. Garza's going to shoot the 3 and knock it in. Kaylin Garza.
She hit 62% of her threes last year. She plays around the rim. She is a dual threat in every sense of the word.
14-point lead now for Blue Hawks.
If you're Tabor here, you might just want to try to jack up a 3 just to make something happen. I don't hate that. Try to get some momentum back on your side and get a run going.
Fast break, but not able to complete it. Clarkson threw it way over Kaylin Garza's head, and that's going to be another turnover.
Tabor may have met shot on the other end, but you're speeding Dickinson State up too and make some mistakes and get them off their set and try to play faster because slowing this game down has not helped. Listen, I know that was the game for Tabor beforehand. It's clearly not working and playing into Dickinson State's strengths. You got to speed this up here.
Yeah, Tabor still on a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes. Just really need a bucket here.
Yeah, they're 0 for their last 5.
Here with the drive, trying to find Tatum Smith, who just checked back in the game and able to get it on cue.
Great job by Haley Contreras, just sucking the defense in there and leaving Smith wide open.
Yeah, but you're going to have to watch. They might try to have to go after Tatum Smith, her with those fouls. Here's Cone. Passing over to Dylan Sedilli. Almost lost the ball, and that's going to be a turnover. Fast break bucket, coast to coast, and the layup goes in for Katie Evans.
See, and that's why taking that 3-point shot was so important. It just got a change of rhythm to the game. Now you've had Dickinson State make back-to-back mistakes, cut the lead back down to 10. You get a stop here. It's a completely different ball game.
Yeah, 4 straight points for Tabor.
I believe that's their first 4-point run of this game.
That's good for them, trying to get inside to Enebo, but Tatum Smith said no, knocks out of bounds in the passing lane.
Yeah, and her not being available for this first half of this game has been pretty evident. I mean, she picked up those 2 quick fouls and took their 6'2" senior off the court. And nothing against Megan Schaefer. She just hasn't been able really, and Brooke Berlin for that matter, been able to really take away the space that Tatum Smith has.
Brett Enebo not even looking at the bucket there.
Shot clock 2.
Got to put it up, and off to put the offensive board. And I think, yep, touch the line, going to go their way.
Yeah, great effort by Izzy there, just trying to keep that one alive, not able to save it. Drug her toe a little too much. That would have been a touchdown catch Sundays, though.
Here's the Blue Jays now with straight points coming at the 10, looking into single digits here. It'll be huge for them.
This offense has looked a lot with Haley Contreras with the ball in her hand. I'd like to see her bring the ball up more here in the second half.
Contreras, shot clock getting closer to 10.
They're trying to draw this up for Smith. They want her to work inside. Maybe late in the shot. There it is.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Screen. Driving it in. And it's going to go up and in for Adrian Hazelwood, and just like that, 8-point lead now.
Now Tabor on a 6-0 run, speeding the game up. It's changed the pace and the way Dickinson State's playing the game.
Enema almost turned it over there, trying to double on the outside. Enema was open down low, wasn't able to see it.
Yeah, Smith ran the trap up top. That's not what they want to do.
Curie with the drive, able to get it, gets her own board, just throws it up. Another offensive board for the Blues, and it's in for McKenna Hauge.
That's the third time this game they've had 3 or more offensive rebounds, one set. Just the first time they've been able to capitalize on it, though.
Yeah, winning the rebound margin, 24-10 for the Blue Hawks. Need a bucket fast here, trying to throw it inside. It's going to be a turnover stolen by Izzy Kelly.
Yeah. Temple got, or no, not Temple, excuse me. Kelly got away with a little bit of a push off there. Dickinson State calls the timeout. They got a steal on that one.
28-10 now, and you know, Tabor, they kind of tried to make a comeback. They're 3 for 3 for their last field goals. What's some things that Tabor's done well to try to get back in this game?
They sped the game up. I mean, we talked about it before the game started. They wanted to play in half-court sets, not get out and run. That's not what they do. So they've done really well here over the last 3 to 5 minutes, and you're on a 6-2 run right now trying to cut this deficit. It's 10 now. It was as little as 8. You got to play fast. It's clearly thrown a change into the wrench of what Dickinson State wants to do. So if you're if you're Tabor right now, I think you got to put the ball in Haley Contreras' hands. Yes, she's a sophomore, but it has looked very different while she's running the offense.
Well, it has 100%. Yeah, speaking of that game, has caused some more turnovers from the State. They're at 9 turnovers in the game so far, and you kind of notice when they've sped them up a little more on offense, the passes have been a bit more lately.
Yeah, and Sean Reed's been pretty animated on the sideline, the Tabor head coach. He wants his shooters to shoot. I mean, they're feeding everything inside, getting late in the shot clock. He wants to play this game a little faster pace, which is not something we thought we'd be saying when it tipped off.
Blue Hawks, like they're going to try and take this last shot here. Only about a couple seconds differential between shot clock and game clock.
Tabor looks fine with them doing so.
Yep, going to do the screen. Then Bray, Enebo. Here's Curie Aldridge.
Yeah, they've got Tate Smith off her point twice, 3 times. It's just possession. She's got to do a better job staying home. They're not running drop coverage per se, but she can't give up that much floor base.
But a big bucket there from Curie Aldridge. She's up to 11 points on the game. Just nothing was really going there on the offensive end, but she was just able to work her way, use some strength, and get the layup. And Dickinson takes a 12-point going into halftime.
Yeah, Curie Aldridge is the difference in this right now. She's got 11 points. She's 4 of 7 from the field. She's taken 2 misguided three-pointers. One of them found their way through the net. She's been the difference. I mean, we just mentioned how much Haley Contreras has been a difference maker for Tabor. Curie Aldridge has been that difference maker in this game and specifically for Dickinson State.
So kind of like looking at some of the halftime stats, I think some of the big things is the Blue Hawks at 45% shooting and having 24 rebounds. That's definitely been a thing that we think because they kind of have the size disadvantage in this game.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, Tabor's doubled their field goal percentage from our last break. The problem is they're only at 20% now, so that tells you how poorly offensively the first quarter of the game was going for them. They got on a little bit of a run. You got to take what was working in the second quarter, make it portable to the second half.
What are the keys for both these teams, you think, going into that second half?
Well, for me, I mean, specifically on the defensive side, Tabor, Tate Smith has got to play smart. She's got to stay out of foul trouble. She's got 2 early fouls. In those last 3 possessions, she left her spot where she was defending and gave up 2 easy looks at the basket. I don't necessarily say run drop. You're still going to have to hard hedge because of the size differential, but you need your rim protector to stay back and just take up space under the net.
We are at halftime here on the Bellevue Sports Network here at the BU House. Dickinson State up 30, Tabor 18. We're going to take a quick Jake Janicek, Jimmy Allen, and we'll be with the start of the second half. You're listening to the Bellevue Sports Network. Welcome back into the Bellevue Sports Network. We're in the 5th game of the Fairfield Inn and Suites Classic with Dickinson State Bluehawks versus Tabor Blue Jays. Right now our halftime score is 30-18.
As always, we invite you to join the broadcast. Send a message to 402-619-1973. Number also posted in the chat today. If you want to tell us who you're supporting, who you're rooting for, if you're just watching along, catch the Bellevue games later, say hello. We'd love to hear from Jimmy Allen and Jake Janis. Good to hear getting ready for second half action between the Tabor College Blue Jays and the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. A lot of blue in the area in this purple gym today.
Yes, definitely is. We know we got a school just down the road here from Bellevue with the Blue Jays, so seems like birds definitely a theme around.
Topic, yeah, for sure. Leading the Tabor College Blue Jays first half scoring was Katie Evans. She had 5. And leading score for the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. We talked about it before. We went to break. Kiri Ald. She's got 4 of 7 from the field. She's also got 5 key rebounds for the Blue Hawks as well.
Yeah, and Kiri has definitely been a good player for the state to kind of step up. Kind of do that, yeah, like their best player, Kaylin Garza, hasn't been able to do as well. Hasn't had a much better first half than she did last time, but Bray Enabo stepped last game, and this game it's been Kiri Aldridge.
Yeah, then we're Dickinson State, right? I mean, they've got many athletes on this team. They kind of death by 1,000 paper cuts if they have to, but Aldridge coming to the bench today has been a nice spark for them offensively.
It's about to get started with the second half, and the Tabor Blue Jays are going to start with it. Abby Proctor will be passing it in to Haley Contreras. You kind of said that Contreras, that's someone you kind of want to see on the offensive
end.
end.
And Abby Proctor was such a focus point of last night, too. She hasn't played a ton of minutes today. I'd like to see her get a little more involved in the offense also.
We're getting started in the second half. Already trying to get into Smith. They double team it good. In the passing lane for Garza, but going to be out of bounds. Stay down here.
It's the fold for Tabor, right, through that first half. You don't have Lily Veer because of the concussion. And then you have Tayton Smith, who's the number 2 scorer on this team, or at least the focal point of the offense if Veer's not available, getting early foul. So they're still kind of trying to figure out what this rotation needs to look like.
Yeah, definitely losing Veer is big for them. Their scoring hasn't been good. Or 45 against Bellevue, but 18 far in the first half. Going to be a drive by Proctor, going to go off the mark, but out of bounds, staying down here again for the Jays.
Yeah, that'll be a fresh shot clock too, and that's what you take advantage. I'd like to see Abby Proctor and Tayton Smith be on the floor together like we're seeing here because it neutralizes the size advantage that Dickinson State has.
Here's Proctor again, starting with the ball. Garza Gardner going to get down into Smith, and good job right there from Garza to lead to the turnover. Here comes down Allie Cohn.
That's just 5 years of basketball for Garza. I mean, she probably doesn't make that play 2 or 3 years ago. She's seen so much basketball in a Blue Hawks uniform that she knows how to take advantage where the defensive system allows her to make plays and do a reach like that, not necessarily give up a foul.
Yeah, Garza's been a part of the Blue Hawks' entire career. Here's Enabo going with the deep jumper. She doesn't get a lot of those, and that's going to be way off the mark.
Yeah, she gave a little smile over to the bench. It's like, all right, we're up 12 points. Let me try one, coach.
Here comes down the Blue Jays, looking to cut into this 12-point lead. Really get it down to single digits at the end of the first half, but it's trying to again here with Smith. Contreras with the 3. Going to be way off the mark again. 2 air balls in the early going. Both teams kind of have to settle in here second half.
Contreras was so much more valuable with the basketball in her hands, moving towards the basket. Back-to-back possessions there. She gets the ball in her hands, but not really moving with it. She's got to create some space offensively.
Here's Cohn with a good spin out to J.O. Garfield. Didn't want the 3, drove it in and able to get it over Smith.
Yeah, Smith backed out of the paint and got there late. That's why that basket was so easy.
Yeah, J.O. made a couple 3s in the last game against Midland, and so far you can tell Tabor's kind of focused on that on the outside.
Well, they're setting up a move here for Smith and run to the basket. Yeah, they had her too.
Job there from Contreras to kind of not have Smith down low and able to make a jumper.
What did we just talk about? Moving with the basketball, right? She didn't stay stagnant. She started moving her feet, started getting towards the rim, make something happen.
Here's Garfield looking down into Enabo.
Yeah, they had Smith out of the paint. They made an opportunity there.
Garza not able to make it there off the mark, but another offensive board for the Bucks.
Yeah, Dickinson State is dominating the boards right. What a great job Contreras there, but Well, I guess that wasn't a foul, but all right. Contreras does a great job just getting the ball poked away from the bigger Garza and making a play defensively.
Shot clock down here. Need to get a shot up quick. Gonna have to shoot a deep three here for Cone. Gonna be off the mark and another. Oh, and it's gonna go down. Garza had a chance to pick that ball. She must have thought that it must have went off of Jay.
I thought it was off Tatum Smith also, and obviously without the ability to have replay right now, we don't know. But I think that probably should have Dickinson's ball.
Yeah, Garza definitely seems sure of it, but after chest saying my bad after that, and Tabor needs to respond here.
I'd love to see them set up something for Proctor here. Maybe run a fall screen, give it back to her. She's alone at the top of the key right now.
Trying to get down to Smith. Double team me a push on Garza.
I think that would be more of a right hook, Jay.
Good to bring up some boxing. You know, Omaha's kind of turned to a boxing town lately.
Yeah, boxing state.
Just passing in there, Smith. Contreras had that shot and didn't make it. Not able to make it off the mark. But again, Tabor's getting those open looks, just really being able to knock him down, shooting 27% on the game.
Probably pad up a little bit for a couple things we've been talking about. The open three she took that just was way off the mark, and there's probably some communication coming from the bench to move to the rim.
Clarkson had the lane there, didn't take it. Gets out to Garza.
That was probably a good pass, actually. Tatum Smith was close and probably would have got that block.
Yeah, she had 3 blocks in the game last time, and that's just in a wrong place at the wrong time for Garza, and she picks up her 3rd personal. Second.
Great job. Yeah, she should have had that foul earlier, but they called her on the wrong number.
Yep.
So that'll be her charged foul. Great job by Katie Evans skying for that rebound there and getting the possession back for her team. Tabor's not going away, man. They have been scrappy despite how this game has gone, and right now, 12-point deficit. Kind of feels like a mountain, but just got to chip into it here and try to get a basket 1 possession at a time with this lead.
But they're doing a much better job of moving without the ball. They were kind of stagnant a little bit early in the first half, but you can definitely see they've been getting those open looks.
You got to get some help here for Smith. There you go.
He was down the Jays, trying to drive it in. Clarkson guarding her, kind of puts up a crazy shot, nothing there. Clarkson trying to run.
Great job by Jada Clarkson. She's got the numbers. She wants to pull it out. There it is.
Here's Kiri Aldridge. Scored 11 points in the first half, and not stopping here, up to 13 now.
Yeah, that's what we talked about with Haley Contreras. It's like exactly what you just saw from Clarkson, or not from Clarkson, but from Aldridge there, just getting to the rim and moving with the basket.
Here's Lambert driving in, able to respond, putting the lead back to 12.
That has been there all day for Tabor. They just haven't been able to take advantage of it. Dickinson State just kind of dropping Garza and Enebo back into that drop cover and let everything come into them in the paint. The middle side of the right side of that elbow has been open most of the game.
And we're in our first media timeout here in the 3rd quarter. Dickinson State up 34-22, and so far kind of a bit of a back and forth 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and that's good news if you're a Tabor fan, right? I mean, it just hasn't been the lulls and long droughts that you've seen in the first half. Been able to move the basketball, shove feet, cause some turnovers. Dickinson State, just what brought them to the game, playing really well defensively, and they're scoring points off turnovers.
And we still got a few more games after this. Coming up after our game, we're going to have a Dickinson State versus Ozark. Both those teams played yesterday.
The men's team, so
men's
State
team.
not a doubleheader.
No, played a doubleheader. You're right. Yeah, their men's team. They lost yesterday. Ozark Christian 92-87, and Ozark Christian kind of beat up by the Bellevue Bruins, losing 116-53. But always kind of have these class tournaments. NAIA kind of bringing a bunch of teams from around the country.
Great for Lucas Gabriel in basketball. 2 years ago, a tournament team starting off 2-9, going on a run, winning the North Star Conference, and then getting to the tournament. And then last year, just a disciplined season. Not the results they wanted for TJ Fritz and Christian Carter and those guys, but obviously 4-0 starting off to a great start this season.
Here comes the Blue Hawk again. Here's Joe. Kind of looked out, had a player go down. He's going to shoot the 3, not able to get it.
Dickinson State with the moving screen there, but don't lie. Possession of empty.
Yeah, Bray kind of got called a couple moving screens last game out against Midland.
That's exactly who gave up one there.
Yep. Here, trying to move without the basketball. Need a response here, and that's going to be over for the Jays.
Yeah, I kind of want Anna Lambert to run this off right now, which is a little surprising. The freshman out of Henton, Kansas, didn't do a whole lot first half of the ball, and now it's 3 possessions this half where she's got to be the one of the off.
She's going to pass it to JL. Going to push with feet, another floater, and that's the second time he's done this in this game. Yeah. 14-point lead for Locks.
That's almost an RPO in football. Trying to get Smith out of the paint. If she comes out, they are to take the shot. If she stays down, you get the pass side.
Brian's going to put it up there, and that's going to be a foul there on Kiri Aldridge. Going to have a timeout. Landry O'Brien will be shooting free throws when we get out of this break.
Yeah, 3 fouls now for Dickinson State. That's the thing about Tabor. Despite the scoreboard, they played a pretty clean game of basketball. Not a ton of fouls given up by the Blue Jays up to this point in this game. They had a bunch of turnovers early. They kind of cleaned that up. And so the scoreboard doesn't really dictate how well Tabor's been playing since about 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, definitely. And, we've been all game getting those open looks, not able to make it. But, yeah, turnovers haven't been as big of a problem so far. Each team with 10 turnovers on the day.
Talk about the difference first at one possession where Tabor came and jacked up a 3 early and sped the game up. I'll be really surprised on the next Blue Jays possession if we have something similar to that, just to try to get Dickinson State out in a spot and maybe make mistakes on the ball over.
Yeah, Tabor's going to hopefully try and make the game go fast a bit, kind of with that struggle.
If you're Dickinson State, you got to do the opposite effect. You can't let them dictate what you're doing. Right? And if they do come out and do that, you got to learn your mistakes, get it bounce, slow it up, get the ball in your playmaker's hands, and let them dictate the pace of the game like they did in the second part of that quarter.
Just coming out, immediate timeout. Landry O'Brien will be going to the line. She's a freshman out of Edna, Kansas. 5'8" guard. Is averaged about 15.5 a game and been scoring 8.5 points per game so far in this year. So she's 50% on the free line, trying to knock down a goal here. Here's the first one, and it's going to be in and good. That's going to be O'Brien's first points of the game.
Cuts the lead to 13. This makes this second free throw huge.
And makes it back to a 12-point lead now for the Blue Hawks.
A little of a light press put on here by the Blue Jays. Trying to just slow the offense down. Try to get them over their skis a little bit. Play too quickly.
Yeah, the offense has been playing good so far in the early goings of the Blue Hawks. Kiri's going to shoot another 3. Not able to get it, and almost a board, but it's going to go out of bounds off of J.L. Garfield.
Yeah, Garfield is just trying to keep that possession alive and lost the grip of the basketball. It goes out of bounds.
Now a chance here to cut this lead to 10.
Yeah, they put Cherez back in the game. I'd be really surprised they don't ask her to go down and just kind of put up a quick shot here.
Yeah, so far when she's been running the offense, you said, Jimmy, the offense just seemed to open up a lot more for the Jays. Here's Contreras trying to look down low to Tayton Smith, and she's going to put up a wild shot to get it, and that's going to go the other way.
Yeah, they're going to say Johnson touched that. I don't know. I thought that was off of a Blue Hawk as well, but ball goes back to Dickinson State no matter what the announcer thinks.
Here comes Allie Cohn to JL. Berets looking to the outside here, working that offense. There you go. That's the play they want to do, and Brandenburg is going to get the bucket, putting the lead by 14.
Yeah, they've set that up a couple times, but Tayton Smith has been the difference maker and able to keep her position. Obviously, she was just out of spot there. Dickinson State takes advantage.
Blue Jays looking to respond here. Here's Anna Lambert trying to drive it in. She's done it a couple times, not able to get that one. The rebound to Smith, falling over, and that's going to be a turnover. Didn't need to throw that pass out. Here's looking to run. Here's Augie. She's going to put it up and in, stretching that lead to 16.
Not really sure why McKenna Howgie was so far behind the offense there. I mean, she was almost at the logo, and she was supposed to be the team with the basketball. But great, right place, right time. Worked out.
Here's the Jays trying to get that drive in. Good play call right there. And Landry O'Brien's able to put it up and in, getting 4 points on the game.
I mean, it obviously worked out, but Anna Lambert with a really risky pass there, but obviously execution happens.
Dickinson State looking to respond. Here's Hauge. She's going to shoot the 3 and not going to get it, but that's a good look.
Yeah, her being out there in back-to-back possessions that far outside of the offensive set's a little surprising. They're going to want that possession back.
Yeah.
Lambert was streaking the basket wide open, and O'Brien just threw it way too out in front of her. Tried leading her a little too far.
Yeah, and Blue Jays, they've been doing a lot of cuts, and that one, McKenna Hauge just wasn't ready for it. Had that on Lambert, just not able to get it in.
Well, you got to wonder how much those 2 fouls from Tayton Smith is what's making them do that. They're not running the basketball inside because they're probably trying to preserve her this last quarter of basketball.
Here's Curie Aldridge trying to drive it inside. Pass out to the corner to Clarkson. Clarkson to get in. McKenna Hauge up to the top to Curie. Good passing, and it's going to be good. Another 3-pointer for Curie Aldridge.
They've left Curie Aldridge wide open about 6 times in this game, and I think she's made him pay for it 5. She's got 16 points. She's 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, 6 of 11 from the field.
And that's been good for her to step up and make those shots when they've given it to her.
I think all 6 she's made, and she's been wide open for.
And it's going to be a foul in there from Carson Temple.
You got a ton of young players out there right now. Anna Lamb, freshman. Landry O'Brien, freshman. Haley Contreras, sophomore. There's some frustration building out on the court right now. If you're Sean Reed, you got to get that reeled in. You can't have your players yelling at each other, even if they are as open as they can be.
No, definitely. I mean, got to have good team chemistry, and if you don't have it there, that really shows on the court. Tabor needs a bucket here, down by 17 to the Blue Hawks. Going to drive in there. Good block right there from Garza.
She's such a good job with her feet that she can just let somebody by her, and it doesn't matter because she uses her spacing to use defense.
A very good wingspan for Garza, and she's been showing all of that today. That's going to be a drive in by Carson Temple, and not able to make it, but going the line.
Freshman on freshman action. There's Temple just blows by O'Brien. Gets a look at the basket.
No, excuse me, not in the bonus yet, so not to the line. Maybe that was in the shot.
Yeah, they're going to say that wasn't continuation. I'm not really sure how, but regardless, that's just the first foul of the third quarter for the Blue Jays.
And a good move right there from Clarkson. Lead up and in, 4 points in the game, stretching that Blue Hawk lead.
What a look and a great shot from Kaylee Kaufman. She has two really good wide-open three-point attempts in this game.
Yeah, and definitely a shot they needed, and hopefully maybe it can act like last time when they kind of shot a three and then started to kind of speed up the game and cause some struggles for the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, this one goes in. We'll see if it makes a change in the pace that Dickinson plays at. It looks like they're maybe just trying to wind down as much clock as they can here.
Clarkson again trying to get to the rim, and she gets it in.
Yeah, great Euro step there. She got the whole defense going left, Euro steps right, easy bucket.
Dickinson State making 5 of their last 6, up to an 18-point lead here with a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, they've made their last 3, and they're on a 8-3 run right now.
Here's Contreras trying to kind of find her shot a bit. She's been able to kind of get open by just dribbling around. Able to find Proctor on low and gets it up and in. Good bucket.
She's been such a force offensively when she's been out there. She's only got 15 minutes in this game. I'm a little surprised they keep taking her off court.
Yeah, the freshman has been stepping up. Here's Garza trying to get another 3. Not able to get it. Almost got the offensive board, but it's going to go to Smith, and that's going to be a push on Garza.
And I think the academy is going to go to Tate Smith. That was not necessarily that hard to shove, but
probably hurt herself more by kind of hitting her knees on the court.
Right. Take a little bit of a breath. Get your air about you. Clearly a foul. I don't know if it was that hard of a foul.
Definitely seems a little tired a bit. You know, we kind of talked about a quick turnaround for Tabor Blue Jays. They played a 5 p.m. game against the Bruins women's team yesterday, losing that game.
Well, I think more important, 5 team fouls for Dickinson. It'll send the Blue Jays to the free throw line and put them in the bonus.
And that's one thing we haven't really looked at too much because it hasn't really been a problem for the Blue Hawks, but they have kind of been in foul trouble here, racking up a lot of them.
Well, yeah, it's just not one person, right? The entire team. It's not bad fouls. It's just been a very physical game.
Smith going on the second free throw and able to get up and in. 15-point lead now for the Blue Hawks. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Here's Clarkson trying to drive it in, getting out to the corner. Carson Temple's going to drive it in. Really good drive by the freshman. Puts it up and in for her first points of the game.
Great job by Dickinson State. Just ball movement there, knowing where your teammates are and making the right pass.
Here's Contreras for the Blue Jays, looking for that last shot with 10 seconds left. Work through the offense. Nothing really there. Got to get a shot up. 5 to go. Dribbling around, passing outside. Gonna have to shoot up a wild 3, 2. Good.
Yeah. Great take job by Landry O'Brien, letting the clock get as low as you can before you put that up. Not taking a distance, not getting a little closer than a mid-range, hitting the bucket.
Yeah, pretty close there, but really smart job, Landry O'Brien, being able to stay composed in those moments, because sometimes the end of the game shot clocks like there, you know, it's really hard to kind of keep that composure, able to get a good floater and drive for the 5'8" freshman from Edna, Kansas.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not something you have to say about freshmen. It's good situational awareness. I mean, we see seniors make that mistake. Great by Landry O'Brien getting that shot up and scoring.
Yeah, and Tabor, they've kind of upped their shooting percentage a bit, now at 33% for the game, but just unfortunately in that third quarter, Dickinson State was able just to keep on going and having a better shooting percentage in there.
Yeah, right now, if you look at the stats, I mean, the difference in the game's been, and we talked about this earlier, it's been Kyrie Aldridge. I mean, she's done such a good job with the basketball in her hand. I mean, she hasn't even played much in this third quarter, and she's still the difference. 16 points, 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, and perfect at the cherry stripe. On the other side, Tabor, their leading scorer is the aforementioned Landry O'Brien. The freshman's got 6 points, 2 of 3. Nobody in double digits scoring the basketball for Tabor. You need somebody to take over here in this fourth if you're going to get back in this basketball game.
Yeah, and Kyrie Aldridge, she hasn't done a lot in the first couple games. A lot of the focus for Tabor seemed to be on Bray and Kaylin Garza down in the post. They've been double teaming a lot there, and that's opened up a lot for Kyrie Aldridge, and she's 100% made them pay for it.
We spent a lot of time talking before the game about the bigs and the importance of the 4 to 5s. And yes, obviously when you talk about Dickinson State, it starts with Kaylin Garza and Bray Enebo. They haven't been as much of the focal point, specifically since the second quarter on, as I thought they would, specifically how the first quarter started.
Started in the fourth quarter here. Dickinson State having that 49-34 lead. 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
A turnover here would be massive for Tabor to try to get back in this game. I know there's still 10 minutes to play. It's a lot of time, and a lot of stuff can happen. A basket here may be a spirit breaker. They're not able to get a stop.
Got the stop there. Here's Carson Temple looking out for J.L. Garfield. She's going to drive it in, gets a wide open lane. Good move, her puts it up and in. 17-point lead for the Blue Hawks.
Exactly what you couldn't have happen, right? You couldn't just let them get a free run at the basket, especially out of a timeout. That's not a great start to this fourth quarter.
Good job on J.L. being able to take advantage. They kind of been out on the threes for her, but she's been able to drive it in and get 3 layups. Here's the Blue Jays trying to get down Smith. Good job by Garza. And they're going to have a foul on Garza.
Yeah, they're going to say she went over the back.
Yeah, a bit.
Which is not a foul in college basketball unless you make contact, but there it is.
That's going to be her 4th foul.
Yeah, she didn't have a single foul in the first half. Now she's got 4 here in the second half.
Annabelle's going to check in for her. Tabor needs to try to get some buckets here.
Yeah, they got to play a lot faster. They're getting way too deep into the shot clock.
13 left on the shot clock. Here with the drive, not able to get it. Rebound to Kiri Aldridge.
Yeah, that's a great play by Landry O'Brien in the first quarter when you get some time to work with. You got to make a better decision then. I know you're trying to get the foul, get the foul line, but that's not what you're looking for at this point in the game.
Dickinson State's kind of wanting to slow it down a bit. Carson Temple's going to get over for the 3, not able to knock it down. Fight for the rebound is going to go to Smith.
Yeah, good no call there. A ton of contact underneath the basket, but their just feet got tangled. No whistle there by the refs.
Reyes finding her shot again, not able to get it, but she's had that chance for that a lot of this.
Yeah, she's finding those mid-range wide open, but I think that's by design by Dickinson State. I think they're wanting them to settle those mid-range shots, the lowest percentage shot in basketball. But you're down 17 points, you're going to get them look, you got to take it.
Here's Kiri Aldridge on the outside, trying to kind of do more, pick up the defensive intensity a little bit, trying to speed up that Blue Hawk team, running the shot clock late here with 5 to go.
I don't think Dickinson State's going to touch out with over 7 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to nurse lead, just try to keep the Blue Jays offense out of rhythm.
And you kind of saw they gave that lead yesterday and want to try to do different things to kind of keep bigger leads. Here's Smith, not get it, rebound to Temple.
Yeah, they know Dickinson State knows that that Tabor's going to want to get some quick shots up and that they're going to be able to take as much time off this clock if they're not made as they can.
Annabelle over to Clarkson, trying to drive it again. Got some spacing, put it up and in with the worst layup. 19-point lead for the Hawks. That's Jada Clarkson's 8th point of the game.
Yeah, you got a ton of young faces you're probably going to see check in for Tabor because this one's starting to slip away.
Contreras outside for the 3 for Proctor and able to get it up and in. Shot right there from Proctor.
She's got 7, and she's only 2 of 6 for field, but the offense has looked so much sharper while she's been out there.
Yeah, that's something you've been bringing up game, and she hasn't played a lot.
She's great off the ball, and just because she's a freshman, she has some limited playing time, but we're seeing freshmen like Landry O'Brien make some plays like that steal right there too.
Here's O'Brien. Had a cutting player, didn't seem to see him. Trying to got double team. That's gonna be a foul on, I think, Carson Temple. Yep, Carson Temple will pick up the foul. That's the 2nd of the game.
I encourage everybody watching. I was going to say Shabby Proctor off the ball, but she just got taken off the court, so you can't do that anymore. But what she's doing away from the basketball has been much more valuable than what she's doing with it. And that's what Tabor needs here in the latter of this fourth quarter. They need somebody making the offense flow.
Here's O'Brien. She's gone to the line a couple times tonight, able to do that one.
O'Brien now at the free throw line. She's 3 of. She's been perfect from the charity stripe.
She's been a good scorer for Tabor off the bench.
Just on the mark for the announcer's curse. She misses that one.
Here's the shot, and it's going to go up and in. There.
Great job by Tabor. They turned what could have been a 1-point play, 2-point play. Now you got to get a stop down here to make the game interesting.
Burke Berlin now 6 points on the game.
Dickinson State trying to speed things up here. A little surprised.
And Kiri's going to get that one up and kind of a wild shot.
That's why when you got somebody hitting the clip that Kiri Aldridge is, you just let her do what she wants to.
And there's some days that the ball's just going in the hoop for you, and that's been Aldridge's day.
That is today for Kiri Aldridge for sure.
Trying to respond here. Trying to look down into Berlin.
Lambert wanted that shot. She should have taken it.
And yep, good board right there down low, but not able to get it up. It's going to be a foul there on Allie Cohn. Adrian Hazelwood draws the foul. And it looks like it wasn't a shot. They'll be passing it in here.
Just the team foul of the fourth quarter for the Blue Hawks. Just one more before that'll send Tabor to the line.
Down by 15 now. The Blue Jays inbounds play right there and able to knock it in is Anna Lambert.
Yeah, that's how you draw it up out of the timeout. I mean, obviously you'd like that to be a three-point look, but still take the basket where you can.
Going fast here for the Blue Hawks. Find down low with the bucket.
Really surprising how quickly they're playing. Looked like they wanted to slow things down. But Dickinson State, 2 quick possessions, 2 quick buckets. They're up by 15 still.
Wow. That quick bucket, Tabor kind of slowed down a bit. Here's a three-pointer. Not able to get it, Reba Enebo, and took advantage of that speed. And
Dickinson State still wants to get out and run.
Yep, here's McKenna Hauge trying to slow him down with the double team. Not able to get anything there. That's going to turnover for the Blue Hawks.
Great job by Berlin there, just having the sense to grab that in the passing lane.
Tried a fast break bucket there, but just off the mark. Enebo got the rebound. Here comes down Cone. 15-point lead now for Dickinson State with just halfway through the fourth quarter. Here's Cone. Going to drive it in, passing out Ava Robinson. Into Enebo again. Going to draw the foul, but going to the line for 2.
That's really the first. Is that the first foul for the Blue Jays in the second half? I think that's the first one
I
they've
think
given
it
up.
is.
I don't think they had a single foul in the third quarter.
I know, haven't had a lot of
Played
stoppages.
very disciplined throughout this game.
I mean, that's one thing when we were kind of looking them up. They're a very fundamental basketball team, play good fundamentals, and you can definitely kind of see that. Just unfortunately, haven't been able to make their open looks, and it's kind of led to this deficit.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those games that Tabor's going to look back on film and go, how did we lose this one? 16-point deficit, 4:55 to play. Just trying to make something happen offensively.
Try to get a move in Berlin. That's going to be another foul on Enebo. Berlin's going back to the line. That's going to be your second personal of the game, and that's going to be taking us to our media timeout.
Right now, you're looking at what Dickinson State is doing. And let's be honest, it's a ton, but shooting the basketball high clip. They're 51% from field in this game. They've 21% from 3, but more importantly, they've been able to get to the line, be successful there. They're shooting 75% from free throw. And on the other side, for the Tabor Blue Jays, still nobody in double digits scoring the basketball. They're under 12% shooting in the first quarter in the field. That number is up, but unfortunately, it's still just 34%. They're 6 from the free throw line, and they only have 9 full rebounds in this game. So the Dickinson State Bucks absolutely dominating the last early one.
Yeah, it's been good for them right now on a streak of 3 fields in a row. Helping them out to get that 16-point lead.
It's going to be interesting to both teams kind of play out this last 4-4-7 here. Does the Tabor decide to try to keep the players out that they have in it and try to use their young core to score baskets? They go with a bigger line here to try to dictate the way Dickinson State has kind of played the game. We'll see and know. It looks like Tate Smith is going to sit on the bench here, so probably going to see a lot of young faces here for the Blue Jays down the stretch and try to kind of figure out what this lineup looks like without Lily Veer in it.
Yeah, when you're in a game like this, you kind of want to try and look at your depth and try to kind of see what you have from them. Definitely a plus for the Blue Jays.
Well, there are many teams in the country that are going to lose your best player and your leading scorer and then be able to be better or as productive without her, like Lily Veer, who will be back for the Blue Jays next game, just out with a concussion for this one. Is the second free throw made.
A couple subs. Garza is going to check back in. She's got 4 personal fouls, as well as Allie Cohn. Here's Garza. Trying to look down low. A lot of movement on the offensive end. Ava Robinson. She only played about 5 minutes last game. Has been playing a more against this Tabor team. Shot clock's running down to 10 seconds now. Get inside to Garza. Berlin guarding her. Good spin move. Puts it in. Almost a foul, but no call.
Oh, no.
Good play right there from Hauge. Passing in Sedilli and gets it in. 16-point lead for the Blue Hawks.
That's just kind of the story of this game, right? Tabor makes some great efforts, and Dickinson State just in the right place at the right time to capitalize on a mistake.
Here's Tabor. Trying to work on things they can use for some future games. Screened by Berlin, trying to get it down low to her. The best pass in the world. Going to get out to O'Brien, and that's going to be a travel back to the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, Anna Lambert just picked up her dribble there and just walked with it just 2 steps too much. It's going to go the other direction. 3:58 to play. Dickinson State probably just going to dribble it out here as much as they possibly can before picking up a shot. Probably expect Garza to touch this on every single possession. You need as few mistakes possible. Let your best player get the ball in their hands.
Definitely try to do something there, but almost a turnover, but we just knocked out of bounds, staying down with the Blue Hawks.
Izzy Kelly, a couple big shots in that first half, checks in here for the first time in the second half.
Ava Robinson out for her. Passing in. Kelly up the top, getting the screen from Garza. Doing a lot of that, trying to kind of get Garza those shots. That's the key.
Probably just want the ball in her hand, just not to make any mistakes. I mean, she's about as sure-handed of a player as you're going to see in the entire league.
Good passing around. Here's Izzy Kelly for the three. Not going to get it, but you want that look. Rebound to Hauge, and it is in.
I think Eric Nelson probably would have wanted her to put that out, but listen, you're never going to complain about a made basket for sure.
Definitely not. I think 18, their biggest lead of the game now. And a turnover right there from the Jays.
And guess who? I mean, Caitlin Garza is just so good, such a high basketball IQ. She's played at such a high level for so long. She's going to be one of the players, talking about the best players in this conference at the end of the season. She's definitely going to mention.
Give me a foul on the end. But yeah, Garza with 2 steals on the game, 2 blocks. She's done a really good job on the defensive end, adding with 7 rebounds. And
she's going to be in the conversation for Conference Player of the Year, and you're seeing why here. She just always is in the right place at the right time. She's been a thorn in the coach's side of people in the Frontier and obviously the North Athletic Conference for so long that there's going to be a lot of people outside of Dickinson State. They're going to be happy she's not here anymore. But obviously the folks up there in North Dakota are very happy to have her on that.
Here's Sedilli with her second free throw, and it's going to be off the mark, but not able to corral the rebound is Wilkie, and it's going to be a turnover.
And that's what you're trying to avoid this one. I mean, obviously a 20-point game well out of reach. Just make the right plays and make good decisions. And you got a lot of freshmen and sophomore out there right now. Those things are just going to happen. Put that on film. Get that fixed.
Checking in for the box, number 14, Celicia Enos.
Cecilia Enos is checking in for the first time this game. Seems like Coach Nelson is going to kind of try to switch it up, try to run his depth a bit, and just kind of see what he has.
I mean, listen, injuries and fatigue happen in these. You're going to have to get out in the deep waters at some point. It's really good in these times. Figure out who's good and what they're good at.
And Fry able to get the bucket there. We saw her get some early minutes in the first half, didn't too much, but able to get her first bucket there. Here comes down Tabor. And Smith to get it up and in. You know, a lot of these players into the Blue Hawks now don't get a ton of minutes, so kind of see how they do against the size.
Well, Smith is going to be able to take advantage because Garza's off the floor, right? Like, I mean, that's just an easy bucket because she's got the size advantage now.
And a turnover there for the Blue Hawks, but able to get it right back.
And that's just Lily Veer not being out there. I mean, Tayton Smith usually knows exactly where her point guard is going to be and put it to where she can run to it. Just miscommunication between 2 players that aren't off on the court.
There's a three-pointer right there. It's going to go in for Cecilia Enos. That's going to be a blocking foul on the other end. O'Brien kind of ran into Izzy Kelly.
That'll put Tabor double bonus. They'll be shooting 2 from here on out for the rest of the game.
1:54 left in this basketball game.
Don't forget to get your text messages at 402-619-1973. Let us know who you're rooting for, who you're watching today here on the Bellevue Sports Network.
First free throw is going to go up and good.
Great job by O'Brien. She's a really sound game here. And another made free throw for her. She's been very steady, either at the free throw line or out from the field today. She's been a bright spot for these Blue Jays. She's 5 from the free throw line. She leads this team in scoring with 9 points after both of those being.
Yeah, she's definitely been a bright spot for him and had that really good shot at the end of the third quarter, that floating buzzer beater.
Minute 44 to play here, 20 seconds on the shot clock. We'll probably see Dickinson State kind of work on their passing, work on their movement, run this like a practice.
Yeah,
try to get as deep into the shot clock as you can.
Another 3 for Cecilia Enos, and not going to be able to make it.
That's kind of the luxury you have when you made the last right. You can just jack that up and you go, well, I made 1.
Yeah, kind of a little early heat check it might have felt for her. Comes down O'Brien, trying to get some extra buckets here to end up this game. That's going to be a block right there from Sadie Stevenson, the sophomore out of Dickinson, North Dakota, the hometown kid, getting a block.
Well, let's see her out there too, right? Because if Kaylin Garza's got a ton of minutes on her, which she's going to at the end of the season, you got to find out where you have behind her. And then a great steal by Stevenson there is going to try to go the length of the court.
Go coast to coast and is able to get it in. 70-48 now for Dickinson State.
Probably just going to let Landry O'Brien here just try to go set something up the top of the key and make an open play.
trying to get a cross-court pass. She's had a couple threes this game and not able to get in that time.
Yeah,
Rebound.
Kaylee Kaufman might be somebody they want to get more playing time. She's found herself wide open a few times in this game.
40 seconds to go, getting towards the end here of this game. Dickinson getting some depth in there, just trying to get some minutes for some players that haven't a lot. And had played some freshmen. There's going to be a 3 from Friday, not able to get it, but the offensive board, Kelly put it up and in.
That's just been the story of this game. I mean, Dickinson State has had some mistakes. They've just had somebody in the right spot to make up for those. That's how you win basketball games. You're going to make some mistakes. Things aren't going to go your way sometimes. You've got smart basketball players to make the right plays. Speaking of which, Kaufman has been very, very bright in her time as the shot clocked off here for some reason, as we'll try to finish this one out with 7 seconds, and the Blue Hawks going to be able to dribble it out.
And just going to dribble this out is Izzy Kelly, as Dickinson State will move to 2-2 on this season. Tabor dropping to 2-3 with a 72-50 win in our 5th game at the Fairfield Inn & Suites Classic. What were some of your thoughts on this game, Jimmy?
Well, my thoughts, if you're a Bellevue Bruin fan watching the Bellevue Sports Network today, is you're going to see this Dickinson State Blue Hawks team quite often, and you know what you're getting with Bray Innabo and Dylan Garza. Both play incredibly well. 2 sophomores playing inside and out of that 4 and 5 spot interchangeably, as we've all seen from Mary Nelson's squad. They've got a lot more athleticism this year, and I know they've obviously been a well-coached, really well-oiled machine for a long time in the Starlight Association and here in the Frontier Conference. They're going to be a problem for a lot of people this season.
Yeah, just a good confidence booster for them. Coming in here to Bellevue, they're 0-2 on the season, losing 2 games to the 7th-ranked team, Lewis and Clark. But coming in here to Bellevue, getting a win against Midland, getting a win now against Tabor. That's got to build confidence for the season.
Don't forget to come back. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back with our Christian College taking on the men of Dickinson right here on the Bellevue Sports Network. Jimmy Allen, Jake Jasek will have the call for you a week back.